Hey witches! Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be breaking down the reveal trailer for the upcoming Sims 4 expansion pack, Adventure Awaits, which releases on October 2nd. This means we're going to be going through the trailer frame by frame and dissecting as much as possible in each shot. This will be a slower process and we'll be pausing a lot, so if you haven't watched the trailer already, I don't really recommend this as an ideal first viewing experience, since in addition to all that, the trailer audio will be muted. I'll have a link to the original trailer in the description below, so you can go and watch it and then come back for the breakdown. All the info here today is from the blog post and store page on the Sims website, which I'll link down below. So without further ado, let's jump into the trailer. We start by panning over a lighthouse to see the shoreline of the new world of Gibby Point, which I believe is a New Zealand-inspired world, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. Right away, we can see two Sims kayaking, which is a new activity coming in the pack. This next shot shows a sim fishing over here while other sims swim around in this stunning body of water, alongside a bunch of jellyfish. I seriously hope there's a risk our sims can get stung and maybe even die. In this next frame, we can see the kayaks again on the side here, and in the background you can also see some archery targets. More on that later in the trailer. Here there's a sim doing a cannonball off the dock and into the water, which I don't think is currently possible in-game outside of Island Living, so that's pretty cool. We also get a first look at some of the new outfits and hairs coming in the pack. Next up, we can clearly see that this is a spin class because this pack is bringing both exercise bikes and free weights to the game. It's a bit ridiculous to lock the first new fitness items in years behind an expensive paywall, but I can't say I'm surprised. We get a shot of some of the new hairs from behind, and we can also see a new fence and a new flooring pattern here. Also, regardless of your height for this pack, you have to admit this backdrop is stunning. In this scene, an adult sim is catching butterflies with some child sims. This is another new activity your sims can do in the new pack. We see this child sim has one of the new hairs, and next to them we see a toddler sim also sporting a new hair, and behind them there's this really pretty new flower shrub. The braids and details in this new hairstyle are super nice, and we also have a new hat and top, and this sim is in front of some sort of watchtower, which may have something to do with the park ranger branch from the park worker career, but more on that later. In this next shot, we can see two elder sims taking an adorable selfie in front of a geyser. This pack claims that this geyser is the world's largest geyser, so I'm expecting it to be pretty impressive. Also, these new earrings that she's wearing are so cute, and I'm really excited to use them for myself. We see the geyser erupt into the title card for the expansion. Adventure Awaits. We see a backyard with a new wall pattern, a new roof pattern, new windows, and a new outdoor wall lamp. This looks like a new spandrel, and this is a new plain-looking column, which I desperately need. The absolute biggest things in this scene, however, are the new diving board and pool slide objects, which, again, is super disappointing that something so normal for pools in real life is locked behind such an expensive paywall. But I guess I am excited to see them coming to the game at all. This next shot shows three sims, all with new and really pretty hairstyles. They all have new clothes, and I really like this skirt overalls with a crop top. We can also see a new picnic table behind them. We get a quick look at a child sim playing with a new doll, which will become more important later in the trailer. And I love the detail on this braid here. This looks like a new mini fridge and a new plant, and maybe this is some sort of new food, but I can't really tell. We get a close-up of the kid playing with the toy before we pan over to the most majestic belly flop into the pool. In this scene, we can see this sim wanting to schedule a getaway. This expansion brings the Getaway system and Getaway planner, which I imagine is similar to going on a vacation to a rental lot, but there's definitely more to it that we'll probably see in the upcoming gameplay trailer. They go away to Camp Gibby, which is located in the Wanderwood Wilds neighborhood of the New World. And in this scene, there is a standalone playground slide, a new children's item, unheard of. Of course, there's a new swing set over here, shocker. New chairs down here, a new outdoor floor light, a new foundation, and another new fence and a matching stair railing. This world seems to feature a lot of docks, so hopefully we'll be able to build them ourselves. But if we are, I'm sure it'll just be possible in this new world here. We pan over some new wall decorations and see a new table lamp. This child sim throws a paper airplane. And in the background, we can see some camp-themed wall decor, a new bunk bed, and a new rug. The camera follows the paper airplane to see these two creepy dolls, a new table fan item, a new gaming console where it looks like they're playing a Void Critters video game, aka the Pokemon ripoff, on a new TV, and, shocker, there's a new drawing table for kids. This kid has a Rubik's Cube, and they look pretty stressed. There's another new doll here, and damn, they're really all freaking me out, I'm not gonna lie. And then there's this little paper fortune teller game, which I'm really excited about because I was obsessed with these as a kid. We see this child sim with their doll from earlier with a new wall shelf decoration here and what I assume is some sort of new portable terrarium. as well as a new bookshelf and a new coffee table. The option Turn into Imaginary Friend appears, and when selected, we see a sequence of the doll turning into the creepiest thing I have ever seen. Like, I know it's a life-sized version of the doll, and I know the doll didn't have pants, but a life-sized friend should have pants. Another child sim approaches, and one can only hope that they become friends, so our sim can ditch Creepo over here. The sims hug, and we can see some new wristbands, and I think these are new glasses. They play together before we transition to a modular playground, which is a build mode feature coming with this pack. I'm seeing slides, platforms, a roof object, a ladder, spinny tic-tac-toe game. The playground grows, and we can see sort of a climbing wall here, a tube bridge, some stairs, and a plastic window thing over here. It gets even bigger, and we can see the spiral tube slide and some different swatches. The kids play on the massive playground before facing off in a rock, paper, scissors showdown that looks very intense. And then this kid hides under a box, which I assume is meant to be hide and seek, but that's kind of weird. But this was just showcasing some of the new activities that your child sims will be able to do. Rock, paper, scissors, hide and seek, paper fortune teller game, make paper airplanes, all that stuff. In this next scene, we see the archery targets from earlier. Our sim has an apple on their head and is looking pretty nervous. We see the other sim practicing archery. I think archery is so cool, and I'm so excited about this. And from what I've read, adults can also perform archery as an activity. The kid then shoots the arrow at the apple. I honestly can't believe they're letting a child sim do this. It seems wild to me. But she doesn't damage or disfigure her friend and manages to hit the apple. Our sim here is hopefully reflecting back on why they agreed to do that. And we can see a really good angle of the new shoes, mismatched socks, and these band-aids. This pack seems to really focus on the child life stage, and in my opinion, it's long overdue. Kids have needed some attention for a while now, and here's hoping this pack does better by them than other life stages. We get a close-up of our child sim, and Happy Camper appears. This, I believe, is a representation of either a formative moment or an evolving childhood sentiment. According to the article posted by the Sims team, which I will link down below if you guys want to check it out, formative moments can help child sims shape their personality and skills, and evolving childhood sentiments influences experiences well into adulthood. We see the sim grow up, and Happy Camper has been replaced by Camp Director. I believe this is one of the branches of the new park worker career I mentioned earlier, the other branch being Park Ranger, as we saw before. And our sim is now leading the next generation, which is pretty sweet. In the background, we can see some new arts and crafts clutter, some new stools around a new fire pit. There are these decorative oars on the wall here, and this new directional sign. This new outfit with the cardigan is really adorable, and this kid is wearing a forearm brace, which I believe is usually worn when you're practicing archery. The child sims run off, and behind them we can see a nice view of the new camp sign. And something else that caught my eye were these little flower effects around this Sims plumb bob. I'll be very curious if this was just random or if it actually means anything. We transition to what looks like my worst nightmare as a child-free adult, as these adult Sims are overwhelmed by their children. We see a ton of child clutter, like these new lunchboxes. We saw this doll earlier, and I'm thinking it might be another imaginary friend, since according to the article about this pack, there are 4 distinct dolls and 4 unique personalities, including goofball, creative, competitive, and evil. So that's fun. Anyway, we see a new portrait on the wall over here against a new wall pattern, a new accent table here, a new dining table and dining chairs, another swatch of this new flooring, this new cart, a new hutch, a new coffee table and sofa, and finally some new curtains. What I'm not seeing, however, are new counters, which is always kinda sad for an expansion pack. We see the mom struggling to use the new blender object coming in the pack, which I believe is meant to come with a bunch of smoothie recipes. The detail in these new hairs is just so pretty, and I'm seeing a new kitchen clutter item in the background here, and also what looks to be a new drink tray of sorts, and a really nice new range hood. As chaos ensues in the background, our mom sim needs a break, so we see her scheduling a getaway as well, and this time, I feel like she's going alone because she's going to revive and thrive in the Jellyfish Junction neighborhood. Right off the bat here, I'm seeing a new roof trim, I think. There's a new glass fence, which I'm really excited about. There's a stepladder diving board, and is this a hot tub? I'm noticing a lot of these long and thin stone objects, which I'm really hoping are not behind debug because I'm just far too lazy to access those items, in all honesty. We see our sim thriving in this new environment because she has the new competitive trait, and we transition to our 9 a.m. spin class. The new Getaway system allows for an itinerary, so activities can be done at specific times throughout the day when your sim is on a getaway. We then go to our 12 o'clock free weights course, which, I'm sorry, this is lunchtime. Next, we have this feet shot as our sim participates in the 3 o'clock dive time. She jumps off the diving board with a new bathing suit into a pool with what might be a new pool trim, but I'm not 100% sure. In the next scene, we have reached the 6 o'clock relaxation period. Our sim enjoys a smoothie, and in the background, I'm still not seeing any new counters. Sad. She sits down to eat, and I wonder if this is a new food. Looks pretty healthy. We suddenly transition again to the Caliente household, which you know is always going to be good. The sisters are looking pretty unimpressed, and they're all drinking cocktails with massive garnishes. Like, Jesus, is that a strawberry? The camera pans to Don Lothario pulling his typical BS, and the sisters decide to schedule a getaway of their own. Here we see the last featured getaway, Love Highland, which is located in the Crystal Valley neighborhood and is clearly a reference to Love Island, so this should be pretty nuts, honestly. We see our cast of singles all wearing new clothes from the pack, and everyone except our main three have new hairstyles from the pack. And I think this is the same park ranger sim from earlier, which is pretty awesome. We quickly go by each sim, and this challenge modifier box pops up, which immediately has my attention. It spins, and we see options like player choice elimination, creative skills contest elimination, activity shuffle, everyone hates each other, which is hilarious, romantic competition elimination, and finally, cooking competition. So the Sims will now have the ability to emulate a bunch of different types of reality TV in-game. We settle on romantic competition elimination, and the flirting begins. Sims get into a new hot tub and start to get cozy. Nina Caliente is vibing with the park ranger, who I also think has a new bathing suit, which she has unzipped. And Dawn is alone and immediately eliminated. See, I knew this was going to be good. We pan out, and I'm thinking these are new glass doors. I don't think these are new glass windows, however, because we already have some in the base game, but I wouldn't say no to more. This next shot is wild, and I feel like I get sensory overload every time I look at it. For a while, I didn't quite understand what was happening here, but then I realized that this is some sort of murder park. There are 4 lit fires, a pool with a diving board with no space for your sim to leave, and there's a fucking cow plant. What the hell, Sims team? You are messed up, and I am here for it. But murder parks aside, along with the getaway system, we are also getting the ability to create our own custom venues in this pack. So you can create your own custom getaways for your Sims. I'm sure we'll see more on that in the upcoming gameplay trailer because I feel like this has been purposely vague for now. This really weird building with no visible door seems to be hosting a cooking contest, which I'm excited to try. And in this last scene, we go back to Love Highland to see Dina Caliente woohoo in open waters, which is definitely a new woohoo coming with the pack. But I really hope it comes with a base game update instead. And that's all for the Adventure Awaits expansion pack reveal trailer. The expansion launches on October 2nd, and the gameplay trailer is coming on September 10th, which feels really soon to me, but oh well. What did you guys think of the trailer? Are you considering picking this one up or waiting for a sale? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for breakdowns and walkthroughs of cozy game content. Thanks for watching, and stay salty!